Ryan.
Yes.
Have you seen Umbrella Academy?
No.
You should watch it. It's one of the best shows that Netflix has put out as far as comic book adaptations. And the reason why I bring that up, because today we're not here to talk about Umbrella Academy. We're here to talk about Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay.
Kind of. But Umbrella Academy. There's something really cool about this story. I'm not going to spoil anything, but because there is time travel in this story, there is a very fun idea that Gerard Way, the writer of Umbrella Academy, has laid out for the reader. There is an agency that manages time, that just kind of controls what needs to take place and influences time throughout history by sending out assassins to change key events. Now, it's a fun little part of this story. We're not going to get into it too much, but it's one of my favorite parts of Umbrella Academy. And right now, we're here to talk about Fantastic Four Annual number 24. But why are we talking about Fantastic Four issue number 24 in the Infinity Gauntlet saga?
Because in our last video, we broke down Silver Surfer issue 57, and it ended with a single page of this lizard man kind of breaking out of a cocoon as he's floating through space. And it says, for more information, see Fantastic Four Annual number 24. So we decided to break that down too, because it's not officially part of the Infinity Gauntlet crossover, but we wanted to see what was happening because it didn't make any sense.
64 pages of goodness, but it's short stories. There's a bunch of stories in here. And we found out after reading the first one that really the last one is the only relevant one. And we're going to get to that.
Yes.
This is not going to be a traditional breakdown, but I think it's going to be some comic book goodness. So buckle up, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And let's chat about some key events that may be important to you after watching Umbrella Academy.
Interesting.
Yes, because
Who has the umbrellas?
okay, I'm not gonna talk. You guys
Is it
watch.
the kids at the school? Is it the time cops?
Just gotta watch it, my man. I'm just gonna leave it there.
I feel like I need to read it and then watch it.
I got like 5 copies of it.
I don't know. We have it at my house. I just haven't read it.
You gotta read it. It's short, 6 issues. The first one.
Okay.
The show covers more than just the first trade, but it's really good. And the time agency. This is like what I want to chat about because the first story in Fantastic Four Annual number 24. They talk about Korvac, the living computer.
Yeah, there's a whole event that happened with this character in the 80s, I want to say, the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. I have not experienced any of that. I have not read it, and this section of this annual breaks down the whole event like really, really quickly.
That's right.
It throws almost too much information at the reader who had no idea what was happening. It's supposed to bring you up to speed, and it really just kind of dizzied me.
Essentially, we have Korvac, who is a villain in the Marvel Universe who becomes a living computer and then becomes God, and Galactus has to take him out. And because we're dealing with so many cosmic events and crazy things that take place, I mean, Galactus breaks out his nullifier, which, if you remember from Fantastic Four 50, that is like the ultimate weapon in the MCU to just wipe out something, to nullify it. Throughout all of this happening, there is an amazing few panels. The Time Variance Authority has to come into play. Time is getting screwed up in Marvel. And there is a organization that mirrors the Umbrella Academy agency of people just working on computers, managing time as a business. Here, I'm introduced to this authority for the first time, and I have to say, we have to go further. I want to know what the first appearance is of this time authority because I love this idea. I think this is so cool.
Seems cool. I really need to read on Umbrella Academy, I guess, and expand upon this kind of time authority information. But this group's first appearance was in Thor 372, Mighty Thor 372.
That's right. Thor's going up against Justice?
Justice Peace is the name of this agent of the time. He's not even an agent of the time authority. He's an agent of like the United States Police from the year like 7000 or something.
This is an agent that's hired by the Time Authority to be sent through time to assassinate a murderer, someone who is screwing with time, which is so reminiscent of Umbrella Academy that you got to assume.
Or Terminator, you know.
It's very similar with that too. Like you got to, it's like, but it's so similar that it's perfect. This just is serendipitous, just how spot on this whole thing is. So we have Thor 372, the first appearance of the Time Variance Authority.
Right.
And we actually find out from Justice Peace that he was sent from this authority, and you see like a full just mapping of this building and all these people on their computers, and they're complaining. They're like, we're going to have to be working clear through Doomsday to fix this stuff.
Yeah, because apparently if Galactus uses his ultimate nullifier, it wipes somebody out of existence, but it also wipes out everything they ever did or changed or affected by being alive. So it really causes a lot of ripples in time in the universe. So it really upsets this group of watchers.
That's right. Someone's got to watch it. Someone's got to be there and, ensure that everything's being done appropriately and that it's maintained with accuracy.
So yeah, we got kind of lost in a black hole of first appearances and researching and looking up time variances and ultimate nullifiers and Thor 372s.
And to find out that has nothing to do with the Infinity Gauntlet, we need to scroll down through 64 more. We're 50-ish pages down to find out, wait a minute, we have found Captain Reptile.
Yes. Okay, that's his name.
And I almost forgot his name, but his name's Captain Reptile.
Yes.
So
not very badass.
No.
He is a badass himself.
He is freaking scary looking, dude.
Yeah, he doesn't take any guff from anybody.
Dude, I thought Beta Ray Bill looked scary.
Yeah, no, this is a scary dino guy. Like Captain Reptile, though, is like Captain Carrot. It's not that intimidating. You know?
I know, right? But you know what? We're reading this, and we're looking at Super Skrull. What's going on? Why is Super Skrull pissed on his planet? He's freaking out about something.
You're talking about the last story from the annual?
Yeah.
Right? Super Skrull, and he comes back to, the Skrull homeworld, and he's recognized as like their hero. He's their champion because he's a big deal. He's kind of saved their species quite a bit of times, and he's gone up against the Fantastic Four a lot over the years.
Mm-hmm. You'd think he'd be happy. I mean, he's among his people. They're like, Super Skrull.
Yeah, they're cheering his
freaking
name
on and stuff, and he's like, I'm pissed.
Whatever. Thanks a lot, you guys. I guess I'm gonna go mope in my throne room. Or
why? Why is he mopey?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna remind you right here. He's upset about something that happened in Silver Surfer issue number 28.
We looked this up too. We had to read we had to go back. This was really cool though. We went way back in Silver Surfer. So we started in issue 34. So we jumped back 6 issues to number 28, where Super Skrull gets in a fight with this guy, Captain Reptile.
Captain Reptile takes him out.
Yeah, it's a pretty, knockout, drag out space fight. And,
yeah, they're just they clash. It doesn't matter. This story is kind of irrelevant to everything else, but essentially Super Skrull and Captain Reptile clash, and the result is Captain Reptile leaving one way and Silver Surfer carrying what is seemingly a lifeless Super Skrull into the galaxy because they're kind of homies right now.
Yeah, it looks like Super Skrull got killed in this fight.
Yeah, people think that Captain Reptile killed Super Skrull, but he didn't. And he's pissed that when he comes back to his planet, people are kind of thinking he got beat up.
He's a little upset that he's taking a hit for his honor, I guess. So the Empress of the Skrull kind of tells him, like, get over it, bro. Like, we got other things to worry about.
Get over it now.
Yeah.
Don't dwell. Don't go out looking for, like, a second battle. Like, just move on. It shouldn't have happened in the first place.
That never works.
No.
First thing he does is go get in a fight with Captain Reptile.
He's got to go find him again.
Yeah.
He goes and finds him and boards his ship and kicks him out and brings him to the middle of space and chokes him out.
And just leaves him there floating in space, which is how we see him.
Yay!
We finally brought it back to Silver Surfer 57. We see this Captain Reptile guy just floating free in space.
And then like hatching from a cocoon or something.
Still not sure. I'm still kind of fuzzy on the cocoon aspect of this, but it's okay. I'll take it. We found him floating in space.
We got to the point where he was floating in space.
We connected the dots.
Dude, it's like the last pages of that annual. 64 pages. We were like, is this what? It doesn't make sense.
It lost me in the middle of
where is this character? Where is it? And we went through it. We thought it wasn't going to tie in.
We almost just scrapped this entire idea altogether, but then right at the end, it all fits.
And I have to be grateful that we went on this little journey in this. We're going to call this the 0.5, but we're going to call it, what should we call it? Silver Surfer 57.5. Because I mean, right? Like
we're Fantastic Four Annual 24 not good?
I guess it is, but we talk about like 3 different comic books.
Yeah, there's a lot that went on here.
So we're just going to call it Silver Surfer. We're going to say 0.5 to the Silver Surfer. How about this? We're going to call it something clickbaity.
Oh, good.
And we'll see what I can do with it.
There we go.
And we appreciate you clicking and watching it here. But
suckers.
I appreciate that we took the time.
Me too.
You know, because we learned about this time agency that happens to be just so perfectly timed to talk about.
Time jokes.
Time jokes, time.
But we learned about like
down,
as I was calling him a lizard man the whole time because we didn't know who he was. He's just like a dragon dinosaur floating in space, and they don't explain it at all in the Silver Surfer issues.
How did you feel when you saw that asterisk that said Silver Surfer 28?
It's like, okay, we can throw one more issue onto the read pile today. We're trying to break down one annual, and we end up like tacking on like 2 or 3 more issues on top of it. So
you're like, what the heck, man?
What's one more?
Add it to the stack. But you know what? We're going to do it.
We got to see that Emperor guy, though, who was increasing taxes like
from way back when we covered way back when. Technically, this is later in the series, but yeah, that was covered right around issue 50 of Silver Surfer.
Right, somewhere in that range. It's been so long since we've done that, but it was just really cool to see him before, we ran into him before. It was a cool little flashback.
That's right. I'm enjoying it. I like these little side quests that we're taking here, but
yes.
You know what? I want to know from the comic book community, what do you think? I want to know, have you watched Umbrella Academy? What do you think about the time variance authority here in the Marvel Universe? I mean, that's dangerously close to what they have going on in Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, Gerard.
Ooh, but I like it.
I still gotta read it, so you can all shame me in the comments down below, like you always do.
Oh my gosh. But you know what? We do appreciate it, comic fam. Hit that like button, por favor. And hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. We make a lot of comic book content, and it's typically more structured in our breakdowns than this one was today.
This one kind of, we got lost in the weeds a little bit here, but that's all part of the fun.
Thanks, comic fam.
As always.
Geek responsibly.
I turned it around. That's on you today. Enough?
Said. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you want to help support the show, remember you can get yourself a Geek Responsibly shirt. Link is in the bio to pick up some merch.